Okay, where am I at? Administrator, you have anything?
No, sir, we already took care of it.
Okay. We have no committee board appointments, Explore Waterford, Fox River Commission, Fred's not here, Board of Health, anything?
Nothing to report this month.
Sewage District, anything?
Yeah, I will have we'll have completion on our expansion at the sewage thing, or October 31st, right around Halloween, so.
That's all.
It's a good deal, we're adding 50% capacity and we're not adding anything to the price, so. They did a good job in passing that.
Thank you, Pat.
That's what. Kudos to the previous leaders to keep
They did a
the
nice
funds
job.
up and stuff, so. Library board?
We're meeting tomorrow, but there's nothing really to report on.
Okay, new business, discussion on Team Care Health Insurance contract for represented and non-represented employees. Consider appropriate motion for action. This is yours, I'll just start off with a couple comments. Team Care we've had for many years, and we've had many issues. But their coverages are great. Most employees love their coverages, and it's great benefits for full-time employees. I'll be the first one to say I wished I had. So, yeah, but details are up to you.
I'll just point out a couple of things that have come up as issues in the relatively recent past. It is our health insurance contract, as written in the contract documents, that prohibit part-timers from working more than 30 hours a week. So that's not something that I implemented or Don implemented or this board implemented. This goes back to pre-Rachel, my predecessor, not being able to work part-time employees more than 30 hours a week. So it spells it out very clearly here in the contract that that's how that works. So our part-timers, Heather for the library in particular, you guys haven't ever had anything with this. Rick, you guys stay right on the line with it. The only issue that we've had in the relatively recent past is in our fire department, where we incurred a $148,000 bill for excess insurance triggers. So just making sure every department head understands the contract reads this way, and if we have part-time employees, they can't be scheduled more than 30 hours a week. Yes, sir.
Question on that. Is this new?
No, this is not new.
It's always been this
has
way.
been this way for the 7 years that I've been here, and I would imagine from previous documentation I've seen at least many years back under Rebecca. Sorry, I said
Rick?
Rachel.
How long you been here?
27 years.
You've had Team Care the whole time?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So this is not new.
No, nothing.
So the 30-hour trigger came in with the Affordable Care Act, and that there are multi-employer plans. That part of it goes back to 2008. So at any rate, this is a 3-year contract. They lock your rates in for 2024 and 2025. And then there is a not to exceed amount for 2027. So they'll make an adjustments as we get closer to time. And they end up bringing that down, but at least it won't go over that amount. So for budget planning purposes, this is really great because we know exactly how much we're going to spend for the next 2 years, and then potentially up to that dollar amount in the 3rd year. Any questions? This is rinse and repeat from my standpoint. Okay. Looking for a motion to approve the contract for all 3 units. That is your library representative unit, your DPW representative unit. You have a 3rd contract. They're all more or less identical except for swapping names out for your non-represented employees.
Question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
What does the insurance cost per person, per full-time person?
17 a year, isn't it?
Yeah, let's call it 19 a year, and then they make a contribution into that. So the village's cost is, I think, 17 and some change going from memory.
So when a part-time hits 30 hours, it automatically triggers us to have to pay $17,000 for that person,
Back
correct?
to the date that they triggered, and then 8 weeks before that.
Okay.
So if you, let's say you had somebody part-time at DPW that worked consecutively, there's actually 2 periods. There's an initial period and there's a look-back period. So over a 2-year period, they can go back, and that's how often they audit us, is every 2 years. That employee, we would have to write a check out for. Let's say that Rick had somebody part-time that for the last 3 months, that employee's been scheduled 40 hours a week. When we go through that next audit, they would send us a bill for the entire premium due plus a penalty plus interest plus 8 weeks in order to satisfy past contractual obligations to the insurer. So nowhere else does a contract work this way for health insurance. It's a straight up contract with a fixed premium and no look back. This contract provides that you're gonna give them copies of your payroll, copies of your financial statements, copies of your bank statements if they want them. It's a union health insurance contract. And so what they have a vested right in from a political activism standpoint and a policy standpoint is making sure that as many Americans as possible can receive health insurance. So as long as you play by their rules, works really great.
So we just completed the audit
Yes,
and had to,
pay $148,000.
which was for how many employees?
I don't recall many.
Okay,
Based on past practice, what would happen from a oversimplification standpoint is an employee would come in to our fire department, they would work as a part-time or something would happen, they would be scheduled for many more hours than what the board had appropriated in the budget. And then that employee would trigger, they'd be with us for, in most cases, a few months before they would move out and seek their career ambition as a full-time job somewhere else, because the commitment, at least as it appeared to them, that we were making to them was they were a part-time employee. The unfortunate part of that $148,000 spend is those employees received no benefit of the insurance. They didn't get to make a claim against the insurance. It was just money that you guys spent out and the employee never got a benefit of.
Do
So,
you have this under control? When this isn't gonna happen again? Are you on this?
I was on this last time, sir.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, you're gonna be a little more diligent.
There are a number of emails via public record request if anyone would like them concerning how it is that I was on top of this, as was Michelle Vandahay, as was Danielle Brown through numerous notifications to the affected parties.
Okay, so, do you have a fix though?
Yes, sir, it's fixed.
Thanks.
Any more questions? Any motion on this contract?
I would like to make the motion to continue with the Team Care Health Insurance contracted as presented.
Second.
Motion second. Any more discussion? Questions? I hear none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?